look at now at the patient first, and then determine how serious is the symptoms. And it starts from mild to serious, right? This is mild, this is serious. Okay, now under mild we have these three items here: location, area infections, and frequency and time. Now, if the symptoms appears on the four limbs, that means the hand and the leg, okay, it is a mild condition. It's not serious, because anything to do with the hand, you just cut the hand, you won't die, right? Yeah, you won't die. So it's called mild. Yeah, and the area infection is only one area. Some they have multiple area infection. For example, you have headache, and then you have what they call vomiting, or you have what they call edema. You know, you have fluids in the body, all over the body, and all that. We have multiple kind of infections in the body. Then it is called serious. Otherwise, if it's just on one location, for example, frozen shoulder, it happens on the arms and it's only on one place. Okay, so that is the mild condition. The one is called sub water. Okay. Then this frequency and time. Now the pain, you have frozen shoulders and it attacks only once a while. The frequency don't come that often. And even if it comes, it only lasts maybe 1 minute and it's gone. Okay? So if we have these three items here, that means the condition is considered as mild. On the opposite side of it is a serious condition. That means if it happens anywhere on the head or on the body, as long as it's in the head, in the body, it's considered as serious. Okay? Then if let's say area infection, it never happens on one place, but it happens on many places, many areas. Your head is also pulling, you got indigestion problems, or you're vomiting, or you're catching for breath, yeah, on the body. So there is many areas of infection. And then the frequency and the time. If it attacks very often and it's very lasting, the attacks come and it lasts a long time, okay, then they consider what they call the symptom is considered as serious. Now in between mild to serious, that means this mild is mild case, but it's slightly tilted towards serious. If you happen to have one of these on the head, on the body, that means it never happens on the arms or on the legs, but it happens on the head or the body. Okay? Then it's considered as, it's still mild, but then it's tilted towards serious side, because it's on the head, yeah, and on the body. Okay, and the area infections, here you see, here you have one against that is not in line with these three. It can be here also the four limbs, but here instead of one you have many. Your arms is painful, your leg is painful, yeah. Then you have many areas of infection. As long as you have one that is different from these three, it's considered as mild to serious. It's still a mild case, but then it's tilted towards the serious side. Okay, or maybe this one is still the four limbs, this one is still one area infection, but here instead of not too often, it becomes often. Yeah, like the frozen shoulders, you have the pain there most of the time. So as long as you have one that is against these three, it is mild to serious. Can follow? Can you all follow? Okay. Now, and this is the same thing. If you have two that is against these three, that means instead of the limbs, you are on the head and body. Instead of one, you have many. Or instead of not too often, you have often. As long as two that is against these three, then it's considered as serious to mild. But if you have three against these three, then it's considered serious. Okay? So, now this side is mild and this side is serious. So now, when it comes to serious symptoms, for example, the pain is there all the time, yeah, on the head, for example, then it is going to be life-threatening. Yeah? That means it's quite serious. It's quite serious. Yeah? And if let's say if this case is life-threatening, it's a very serious case, that means it will affect more of your heat energy. Because when the pain is there all the time, the heat energies need to be there all the time to solve this problem. So you use up a lot of heat energy in the body. And your body will be depleting all the time. So must understand this. When somebody is in tremendous pain for a long time, it's going to lose a lot of heat energy. That's why I say just now, when you do for this critical case patient, you have to be careful, because when you press too hard, they are in pain, they lose energy. And what we are afraid is that if they lose too much energy, they will get into trouble. So always get the heat pad ready, yeah, and give this kind of heat therapy all the time, or you are doing the what they call the massage, yeah. Okay. Now this is how we look at the symptoms, but the symptoms by itself cannot determine the sickness, the severity of the sickness. It must come with the other part. Just now we have two parts, but this is just the bodily injury. The other part is insufficient heat energy, which will manifest through the face and the body. Okay, so we must now look at the other side, the heat energy side, by looking at the face expression. If this guy had all of this, it happens on the head and it happens in many locations and it's often it's lasting, it's already serious symptoms. Plus, this patient is catching for breath, the whole body is weak, and then the whole body is numb, yeah, and then the four limbs are cold, yeah. Then you have to be careful. That one is insufficient heat energy. So these serious symptoms plus insufficient heat energy will give you what? Serious sickness. That means it's critical case. You administer the opium has to be extra careful. If this guy loses too much energy, he's going to die. Just like the two cancer patients. Yeah? So most of the time, if you have serious problems, serious symptoms, it's not that critical yet. Only when it comes in with the body that is weak, the body that is what they call catching for breath, no breath, or you keep on vomiting, or you have this 水肿 edema, right? It flares all over the body, the face is swollen, the leg is swollen, or the stomach is bloated, yeah, you couldn't eat. Then that one is very serious. Okay, and the last stage is when this guy is already catching for breath, no more breath already, then it is already towards the end. So you have to be very, very careful when you do in this case, this kind of patient. Can you all follow or not? Understand what I say? Because this is the first time that I explain this chart here. Yeah, I got this chart finished only yesterday. You know why? Because previously, Dr. Chan only explained the first part. That means the cause of the illness, the cause, condition, and the effect. They tell us how illnesses comes about. Yeah, and he did mention briefly about how to deal with critical patient. You know, that you cannot rub too hard, you cannot apply too much pressure, and then when you are doing the manipulations of the point, you have to put the heat pad on the body at the same time. Yeah, this is how I explained. It was only recently last month he went to Vancouver to give a lecture. That he bring up this, and this is very important for not for beginners, but for those already in practice. Because a lot of people, I think maybe you have seen so many cases, yeah, they got into trouble without following these procedures, without looking, analyzing the conditions of the patient before they start treatment. So they go so hard on the patient. And then you have to see, even the serious cases, how much ginger, so after this I will touch on ginger, yeah, how much to give, what is the dosage, yeah. So we know now, okay, if we analyze the patient conditions, if they have serious symptoms plus the other what they call insufficient heat energy symptoms, then they are critically ill. So we have to be careful. We have to know how much ginger to give, whether to rub first or to give heat therapy first. We have to know before we act. Okay? So far, any questions?